We are getting close to the 2026 NFL Draft, Bucs fans, and if you're excited, make sure to hit the like button on today's video. Let's see if we can get to, let's say, 200 likes on this video. That would be unbelievable. But we're getting close to the NFL Draft. If you're excited, make sure to hit that like button. Without further ado, let's get on with today's video. What's going on, Bucs fans? You're watching Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Bartkus. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to be reacting to the NFL annual meetings and what Todd Bowles had to say about, the draft, the free agency, losing Mike and Levante, and everything like that. So I know this happened a couple days ago, but I am still a producer here at Chat Sports, so I got to get my videos out when I can. I'm a busy guy, but I want to make sure you guys have the best content possible. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's show. Without further ado, let's go with the first one. Not re-signing former players. Now, this is including Mike Evans and Levante David, but also letting go a lot of players that I thought we were going to bring back, honestly. We brought back Cade Otton, but losing a guy like Jamel Dean, too, we left a lot of guys out there for other teams to pick up. And Todd Bowles had some say on this. He said, we felt like we needed to in certain areas. If you stay the same, sometimes you get the same results. We thought we had to make a few tweaks, coaching-wise and playing-wise. Interesting. Okay, so that's a little bit different than we're used to, right, from the Todd Bowles that we know of, kind of bringing back, that Super Bowl year. We kind of brought everybody back and tried to do it again and kind of not bit us in the butt, but it was more of you get the same results, and we had some injuries and stuff like that. But moving on from players, it's fun, but also bringing players back too is good. So we had a bunch of different signings. So you move on from players, but then you bring a guy like Cade Otton back, and then it opens up to maybe some new guys on the roster to get that new different feel that he was talking about, because I don't want the same outcome as last year. I hope you guys don't either. Or if you do, then that means Todd Bowles is out of here. So maybe you do want the same result. But bringing in a guy like Kenneth Gainwell, Alex Anzalone, Jake Browning, A'Shawn Robinson to sort of be a little bit more stout in the run game, and Miles Kilbrew on special teams, Al-Qadim Muhammad, bringing back Keith. So you bring back two tight ends, and then you let a lot of people go, but maybe you need that new feel to get some new outcomes and just a new locker room feel as well. So I think you lost a lot more than you gained, though, because the elephant in the room, the two elephants in the room, Levante David retiring and Mike Evans moving on to go play with the 49ers. So you lose more than just those two players in the production from them. You lose their leadership, their commitment, their loyalty. I love Levante David, but we're going to miss that mentality in the locker room and on the field and his leadership and everything like that. And then as well as, Mike Evans, the red zone threat, the surefire target that you can go to in dire need for Baker Mayfield. You don't have that anymore. Yes, Cade Otton is probably that next up guy, but so is Emeka Buka, so is Bucky Irving, honestly, and Kenneth Gainwell in the receiving game. So losing those two guys, yes, maybe you need a new look offense, but losing the two guys that have been with the team for 14, 15 years, it's tough. And I'm interested to see what goes on next year, because I want to know from you guys, do you think the Bucs roster is better or worse than last year's roster? Because right now, yes, we made a lot of additions, but how are they going to impact what we can do next season? Obviously, we don't know that until next season, but I wanted to ask you guys, do you just think the roster is better than last year's? Type B for better, type W in the comment section. Love to see what you guys have to say on today's show. Moving on to our second topic of the owner meeting takeaways, the Buccaneers backfield duo. This is actually something that I'm very excited about because you add Kenneth Gainwell, you bring back Sean Tucker, and Todd Bowles was asked about, hey, what do you think about that running back duo? Is Bucky Irving going to be a backup? Is Kenneth Gainwell going to take most of it? And he said, Bucky's 1A, Kenneth is 1B. I think it will be a great 1-2 punch. I totally agree. Hey, look at that. Me agreeing with Todd Bowles. I'm just excited for what these guys can do. And this is a fun graphic here. Look at these guys standing next to me. Kenneth Gainwell, Bucky Irving. I'm excited what these guys can do in the backfield. Gives a new look to this backfield than last year. Bucky Irving, you don't want him taking all the carries. I think Kenneth Gainwell is an all-around very good back. Todd Bowles did say, he's not afraid to put maybe Kenny on the special teams game. So if you want him returning or him on the punt returns or anything like that. But these two guys, I'm very excited because it brings a whole different dynamic to this, backfield. Obviously losing Sean Tucker. Bucky Irving still number one. I'm losing Sean Tucker. I'm sorry. That should have no asterisks next to it. He was a restricted free agent, but we brought him back. That is on me. But Kenneth Gainwell, number two. Sean Tucker. And, I'm interested to see what this backfield can do because Bucky Irving, I know, had some injuries and maybe a down year, but I still believe in Bucky, and having a guy like Kenneth Gainwell to sort of take off that load of being that all-around back where I think Z-Rob will be able to use Kenneth Gainwell in a different light more than, he had Bijan Robinson. Bucky Irving is not Bijan Robinson. We can be real with ourselves. But Z-Rob does have a good offense in the run game. And bringing a guy like Kenneth Gainwell, he can, you put him in on third downs, he's that receiving threat, but he can also block very well too. So when you look at the rush yards per game, the rankings last year, Buffalo Bills, obviously James Cook, and Baltimore Ravens with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. DeAndre Swift had a very good year with the Chicago Bears. They're in third. But you move all the way over to the Atlanta Falcons, who were number 8. And yes, like I said, Kenneth Gainwell and Bucky Irving are not Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. But you have a good rush offense with Zach Robinson where a guy like Kenneth Gainwell can come in and after one of his best seasons that he's had, 114 carries, 537 rushing yards, and 486 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns with the Pittsburgh Steelers, we could definitely use a guy like that. So bringing in a guy like Kenneth Gainwell, sort of what we were saying in the beginning of not bringing back guys, but maybe bringing in new guys that can relight this offense that sort of had a disappointing end. Is that Josh Grizzard? I always say it. Could it be Josh Grizzard? I have faith in Zach Robinson and what he can do with this backfield and this offense as a whole. Now, our last topic that I want to talk about on today's show is an interesting NFL draft target that Todd Bowles revealed a little bit when he was talking about, letting guys go like Jamel Dean and Kindle Vildor in free agency. And then he was asked, how about the cornerback position? Who are you looking for? What are we doing? And this is what he had to say. We definitely need another cornerback. Whether it's a veteran or whether it's a draft pick remains to be seen, and we'll kind of go from there. We'd like to add one or two in the mix and kind of go forward from there. There are some good cornerbacks coming out in this draft, and there's still a good few veteran cornerbacks out on the street, and we'll play it by ear and see what we can come up with. So when you think about, I like what he said, if you can see here. If you can sort of like imagine the the cornerback room last year, it was good, and Jamel Dean had one of his best seasons, but they decided to move on from him. I was a guy who, in the beginning of the season, after the end of the season, I was ready to bring back Jamel Dean, but you got Zion McCollum and Jacob Parrish. Zion McCollum not having a great year, you restructure his contract, but he's sort of on a prove-it year now because he had a down year. Jacob Parrish and Benjamin Morrison. Jacob Parrish had a great year, and Benjamin Morrison still messing with those injuries a little bit, but a promising secondary. I think you just need one or two more pieces, and cornerback depth is always good to have, but I think if you add maybe a veteran like a Rasul Douglas, or I think we look more into the draft because losing Jamel Dean was a big blow. He's a veteran presence, had a great year, but you decide not to bring him back. So you got to look at it in the draft for sure. So when he says, Todd Bowles, I'm saying, if you're looking at guys in the NFL draft, Mansour Delane, obviously he's not going to make it to the Bucs at pick number 15. But, if however the board falls, if you want to trade up for him, he's very athletic, can cover any wide receiver and any coverage. He's definitely the number one prospect in my eyes and in NFL draft analyst size. Avion Terrell, he had a hamstring tweak at his pro day, so we'll have to monitor that. But he's great in man and is very athletic. He's got more of a slender build like his brother, A.J. Terrell, on the Atlanta Falcons. Jermon McCoy from Tennessee, he's very, very good. We'll talk about him in a second. But Colton Hood, his teammate, press man guy, very aggressive, but he can get beat by shifty wide receivers. Chris Johnson from San Diego State University, he's very scheme versatile, so he can kind of get put in anything. He's probably my number 5th prospect right now. He can play outside and inside. He trusts his footwork, though, which is very, very good. Doesn't grab a lot, so he's very quick on his feet. I like that a lot. And then Brandon Sis, or Sis, I was thinking about how to say his last name, but we'll figure it out from there. Explosive, athletic ability, and is very good on run support. He's not a huge playmaker. He's more of a, aggressive, not as fast as you might think for a corner. But Keith Abney, the second out of Arizona State, he's a physical press man guy, not super long and lacks that top end speed. D'Angelo Pons from Indiana, he's a smaller build, 5'9", but he's very competitive. You guys watch that national championship, makes plays, big playmaker type of guy. Our guy Billy Beebe, the host of our Ohio State channel, he was at the NFL Combine, and D'Angelo Pons was one-on-one with him. That was the clip that went viral on ESPN and SportsCenter, and he locked up our guy Billy Beebe. So hey, maybe we want to draft him because he can lock up our 5'8" YouTuber. But he's competitive, playmaker, love that. Keontae Scott from Miami, he's a great tackler. Now, he limits a lot of yards after catch with wide receivers, but he's got no route squeeze, so he's a little bit iffy in coverage. And then our last one here is Dalen Everett. He's 6'1", 196, and he ran a 4.38 40, which is unbelievable. So he's very fast, agile feet, but lets too much pitch and catch plays in front of him. So, he's good in short zone, but sort of lets up the easy play. But like I said, I kind of want to go back to my number 1 pick. If we were going to go corner in the first round, I would go with a guy like Jermon McCoy. Now, he had a great 2024 season, but he missed 2025 with an ACL. I don't want that to pull away from how good this guy is. He's very, very good. He has the ball skills, speed, and movement to be a cornerback 1 in the NFL. He's got everything that needs to be a good corner in the NFL. Dominant in press man, also very good in zone. He's a playmaker. That's what I want. I think that's what we needed last year, is just guys, go get the ball, go make a play, go tackle, anything to do on this defense, because we need a lot of help on this defense. And I know a lot of you guys are like, why are we even talking about taking a corner in the draft? Maybe in the 3rd or 4th round. But if a guy like Jermon McCoy is there, I would totally be okay. I think he's gotten mocked to the Cowboys a bunch. So if he makes it past the Cowboys and he's here at 15, I'd totally be there for it, because his coverage stats are very good. He's 50%, 386, 2 touchdowns. I mean, you look at the PBUs to interceptions. This is his 2024, by the way. Missed 2025 with that ACL. But the fact that he is still first round after not playing for a full year, it shows a lot. And those playmaking ability, 4 interceptions for the 13 PBUs, I mean, you get a guy who has everything that you need in a NFL corner, and he's young and he's likes to make plays. I think that's a guy that we put on this defense, and he immediately starts next to Zion McCollum and Jacob Parrish and Benjamin Morrison as well. You kind of bring him in nickel defenses. So, hey, this channel is all about you guys. Should the Bucs use pick number 15 on a corner? Should they trade up? I know a lot of you guys have been saying stuff about trading back. Todd Bowles, Jason Light, the Glazers. What do you think they're going to do? Would they take a corner with pick number 15? Type Y for yes, type N for no in the comments section. Please let me know. I love seeing what you guys have to say. That'll be it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for free daily fun Bucs content for you guys to enjoy. And if you guys want a little bit extra, I have a Bucs Breakdown Instagram that you guys can go follow. If you guys do have Instagram, make sure to go give us a follow on IG. And as always, fire the cannons.